In this video, I'm going to look at proportion. In our previous video, we have looked at ratio, where we will have simplified ratio. Okay? Now, in simple terms, a proportion we may say that a proportion is really two ratios that may be equivalent to each other. All right? For example, remember our ratio can be written as, we can also write, all right? Can write our ratio in different ways. Good. Let us look at the aspect where we write it as a fraction. And say, for instance, we have the ratio 5 to 7. We want to find the proportion of this. Now we can use several methods to show how they are equivalent. So one of the methods is we divide 20 by 5 and we divide 28 by 7. 5 goes into 20 something times. 5 times 4 is 20. 7 goes into 28 something times. 7 into 28, 4. So we can say that these are proportions because we use the same multiplier to get the second part. Okay? So we can say the scale factor is 4. Alright? We must have the same scale factor for us to say that these are proportions. If our scale factors are not the same, then it does not represent a proportion. Okay? Some persons might write it as 20 divided by 4 and 28 divided by 4. 20 divided by 4 and 28 divided by 4. Okay, so that was our check to see that yes, our scale factor that we use on top and at the bottom, numerator on top, denominator to the bottom, it was the same and we would have proven that. Okay, so they must be the same. So we can try and simplify one or both of the fractions and we will see that we must get back to our starting point. All right? And another method that is used is, they call it the cross product. 5 over 7 is equal to 20 over 28. The cross product means we multiply 5 by 28 and we multiply 7 by 20. 5 8s are 40. We put the 0, carry the 4. 5 2s are 10 plus 4, 14. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 2s are 14. Okay? Again, look. Check out what happens when you do not have a proportion. Right? Let us look at another one. In this case, I'm going to write the question. Alright, I will write the question. I have 4 over 9 is equal to something over 63. What can we do in this case? We can use the scale factor. Let us look at the one where we know both. We know the denominators. What was the rule? It was division. 63 divided by 9. How many times does 9 go into 63? 7. So the same rule will apply for our numerator. Our scale factor now becomes 7. So what we do, our numerator is 4. So we multiply 4 by 7. What will we get? We will get 28. Therefore, x is 28. How do we write it? 4 over 9 is equal to 28 over 63, where our scale factor is 7. Let us look at one more. All right, here we go. I have 30 over 45 is equal to 10 over something. I need to find the something. What do I do? What would you do? Notice we use the simplifying method, and we can see that the first ratio can be simplified by both 30 and 45. 30 and 45. What will be our common factor? Who can tell? What number will we use? What is our scale factor in this case? There is one number we can use, one method. 30 divided by 10. What will I get? 3. 30 divided by 10 is 3. Now I go to my denominator. I want to use this 3. What will I do with 45 and 3? I want to find an answer for x. One of the things I know is that x has to be less than 45. 30 more than 10. So x has to be less than 45. What would you have done? Yes, you divide. So we go 45 divided by that same scale factor will give me 15. 15. So I write my answer. 30 to 45 is equal to 10 to 15. Because look here, let us do reversibility now. 10 multiplied by 3 gives 30. 15 multiplied by 3 gives 45. So I can say I am correct. Okay? I am correct. So we have done our proportional aspect here by finding either the numerator or the denominator. In this case, we worked on finding an answer for our numerator. Notice small increases. Small increases to a larger. And the number that we use, the number that is used to simplify, we call it our scale factor. This is our common number that must be applicable to both numerator and denominator. In our second example, our denominator was absent, but notice we were decreasing. We were decreasing. So we divide the second. We see how many times we can get the second from the first. And we got 10 from 30, exactly 3 times. So we use the same rule for the denominator, 45. 3 goes into 45 exactly 15 times. And then we did a little check. This was our check to see if we were accurate. We multiply each of them by our scale factor. This is called our scale factor. Multiply each of them by the scale factor to prove that we are correct. So we would have looked at a part of proportion, and earlier you would have heard me say that a proportion is really two ratios that are equivalent to each other, and we know that these ratios are equivalent to each other, because if we are to increase, we will end up here, and if we are to decrease, we can end up here, or we can even go a little further down. All right, so the two ratios, they must be equivalent, whereby we are able to either simplify or we are able to increase. In this case, this was the simplified version of this ratio, and this is also equivalent to, but this is an increased version. All right, so there must be one rule. We used 4 here, we used 7 in this case, and down here we used 3 as our scale factor. There must be one number, right? If we don't have one number, say for instance this is 3 and then that one is 4, then they are not proportions. They're only proportions when we have one and only one number. Okay, I hope this helped. Bye.